You tune to Risky Business. I'm your host, Bryan Hattingh, and sitting next to me is a very dear and special friend in the form of Hannes van Rensburg. Hannes, welcome to the show.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
It's a good thing that we could actually make it happen.
I'm so pleased we did. We've been promising for a while. And of course, with you living in Florida, US of A, we don't get to sit side by side to do it.
Well, I'm making a change now. We've decided that we will spend winters here. And people think that that's a crazy idea, but just look at the weather, right?
I know, it's a beautiful day. So for way of introduction, I've actually been thinking about this, but importantly, you are the godfather of mobile financial transactions, if you really think about it, mobile payments.
I have been called that before.
Have you really?
Yes.
Okay.
The father of mobile payments.
The father of mobile payments.
Yeah,
absolutely. And tell us about it. Fundamo. I mean, we know each other even before then, so we'll talk about some of that in those days. But it was such a fantastic story, and your journey was not trivial. So I'm so keen to share it with the listeners.
Yeah, you know, there's a big benefit of getting older because you have more time and you have more things to reflect on.
Yes.
And maybe less to look forward to.
No, not true.
But so I've been reflecting, and the journey was quite an amazing journey, and a lot of things that I've learned about it. But we've always believed that Fundamo was not just about a company; it was about getting people out of the cash economy.
Yes. Yeah.
And we don't realize it, but if we reflect back 30 years, and poor people didn't have bank accounts.
No.
Didn't have phones.
No.
And they had to just deal with cash, whatever they wanted to do. They couldn't effectively save. They couldn't effectively budget. They couldn't be educated because there was no records of what they spent, financially educated. I mean,
no, exactly. They couldn't get credit rating.
They couldn't get credit rating.
Yeah.
They couldn't, if they had to pay for something, they had to stand in a queue.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they could do online.
Yeah.
And so, the world was, the majority of the world's population was living in poverty.
Yeah.
In 2000.
Yeah.
Billions of people were surviving on less than $2 a day.
Wow.
And reflecting back now, if you look at the statistics, the cash supply in India has been reduced with 50%.
Wow.
And poverty has reduced with billions by factors. Yeah. And one of the things is just access to digital payments. And I would say that Fundamo started that revolution.
Yeah.
It's very privileged to have been part of that.
Wonderful. And where did the idea birth? I mean, that wasn't the space you were in. I mean, no. You were in a very different space, and with Infomet and consulting to companies around a whole array of things. And then,
there's a bit of a story about how it happened.
Okay.
I was the chief information officer of Sanlam, and
That's right. No, I remember.
And I worked for a very, very special guy called Marinus Dahlem.
Yeah.
Such an amazing guy. And we sat, and I had lovely discussions with him. He said, look, this thing called the internet, right? What is it going to do to financial services?
Yeah.
And I said, well, the consultants are telling us this and so forth, but we better figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
So he said to me that, why don't we take a trip to New York? Just me and him. Mm. And we will go and check it out ourselves.
Yeah.
And we flew there for a week, and we visited consulting companies and insurance companies and so forth and so forth. That's the beginning of the story. So we came back, And I was sitting in my corner office with my company car and my secretary, and Marinus called me in and he said, "Hey, Boet," I think maybe he used a different word, but he said, "I want you to resign. And I want you to start something." And I said, "What do you want me to do?" He says, "You'll figure it out. But it's got to do something with digital and finance." And I said to him, "I actually like my, and I share options in Sanlam, and I like my job and stuff like that. And, just give me a little bit more what's happening here now. Didn't I do a good job?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, you got 24 hours, you can think about it." And I said, I'll do it. But Marinus, you've got to pay me for 3 months, and I've just got to think. And I don't know where it appeared. I spoke to a lot of people, and ultimately I thought, you know what, the internet is big, but mobile phones are going to be bigger.
Yeah.
And if we want to do something financial on mobile phones, maybe it should be payments. That's how it happened.
Cheapest, Hannes. Isn't that amazing? And in talking to him, what inspired him to suddenly do that? I mean, that was, he wasn't wanting to get rid of you.
Well, for a long time, I thought maybe. But he was a kind of guy that, he was extremely astute and very decisive.
Yeah.
So I think he came back.
He was the CEO, was he?
He was the CEO and the chairman of the Sanlam Group.
Wow.
He was the chairman of Nissan. He was one of South Africa's best business guys. Gencor, he was the chairman of Gencor. And he was very decisive about things. And I think he just thought, there's no ways that Sanlam will figure out what to do inside of the organization. And probably I wasn't the best corporate guy. And he said, well, go and figure it out.
Yeah. That's amazing. And so then, having made that call, how did Fundamo birth?
Well, I managed to collect really lots of visionary people around me.
Yeah.
One of them was a guy called Neil Hendrickson. Long story about him. But we sat around and we built it. We first envisioned it and we dreamed about it.
Yeah.
And we had a big problem, right? Because phones then
were not that
couldn't
versatile.
send text messages.
No,
Half of them couldn't send text messages. They were supposed to be talked on, right?
Yes.
And somebody that was thinking that the phone will do anything else than talking was pretty crazy, right? And so we had to make it do payments. There was no smartphones. There was no development kit that you could put on a phone or whatever.
Yeah.
So there was a guy called Andre May. He lived in Paul, and he, for some other reason, got him involved. He said, why don't we write the logic on the SIM card? And there was, at that stage, GSM provided some capabilities that you could do it on, but there was a problem because SIM cards had only 8,000 bits, bytes, free memory. And we had to write a secure payment application that was running on basically on 4 folios, if you write it out on folios. But we did it. And we thought we were crazy clever, but of course we didn't understand the business. We just were geeks and we got it working. And we showed it to each other and thought,
this is awesome.
This is like, what the hell did we do just now? Everybody will get excited about it. Everybody except investors.
Yeah.
Because it was
it was too ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it was too ahead of the curve, so we almost had to close down the business because nobody wanted to invest in it.
It's so interesting. That was around about 2000, wasn't it?
It was 2000, yeah.
So at that time exactly, I was the chairman of a little tech company called Orbital M that had this great idea to develop solutions to provide marketing streams into the actual SMS stream. So not as a spam, but I would send you
and then it would
text,
append it.
and it would say brought to you with the compliments of, and it would go away and look at where were you that I was sending it to, and where was I sending from, and then pick the appropriate ad to pop into it, which they then developed further, that they produced the ability to send barcodes to the phone, so that you could do like a 50% off on Levi's at EdCon, and
like a
redeem it
or something.
redeem it at the till and all the rest of it. But it also was too early. It was too ahead of its time.
But it was such a wonderful time, because we were sitting at the beginning of a wave of things and that's the benefit of being at our age, is we can look back on it.
Yeah.
And we can reflect.
Yeah.
And we can look at how crazy ambitious we were.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of your early wins, if I remember correctly, were not in the most likely geographies.
Yeah, so I mean, we were almost bought by Visa.
Yes.
Before it was a company, right? Remember, Visa was not a company.
Exactly. Yeah.
In 2001.
Wow.
We flew up to London a couple of times, and then they said, no, there's no ways that they can buy a company in Africa that's on the edge of technology. It doesn't make sense. We were introduced to Deutsche Bank we
Deutsche Bank in South Africa?
No, Deutsche Bank in Germany. We flew to Germany. We Vodafone.
Yeah.
The head of product in Vodafone was also a German guy. We we showed it working. His engineer said, nah, can't be. They're not doing it. After 2 years, we realized we're never going to sell this thing.
Yeah.
Because big companies were not going to buy it.
Yeah.
So then we started selling to what we called rats. Okay. You know how you kill rats?
You kill rats.
Usually there's a lot of them, right?
Okay, yes. Yeah.
And then you take like a shotgun and you just shoot in the general direction of rats. Okay. Of rats.
Okay.
And one of them will be wounded.
Okay.
And that's the one that you kill. So we sold to all these startup companies that was prepared to try out something new.
Yeah.
But didn't have any money. So we kind of never survived. We were always on the edge of dying.
Yeah.
Until we sold to MTN.
Okay.
And that's a different story. But MTN was our big breakthrough.
Okay.
And that's killing an elephant. You know how you kill an elephant?
No.
You plan.
Okay.
You decide.
Yeah.
You get the right weapon.
Okay.
Okay. You can't just wound an elephant. You have to kill it with one shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you close a deal with big companies. You do it in a structured, planned way.
Yeah.
But smaller companies, you just, you don't even write a contract.
Yeah.
And you do things with them. So we migrated into MTN from there.
And then where did it go from there?
Well, MTN was, I think, the big breakthrough. And also, I mean, that's when Aletta got involved because she knew how to kill elephants.
Yeah, yeah.
And she also kind of educated me.
Okay.
Not to be a geek.
Okay.
Because a geek can come up with great ideas.
Yeah.
But they can never build a business.
Yeah.
Because they think that they're amazing when they're not. They think people should buy from you when you should sell to people.
Yes.
On the basis of business, not on the basis of the technical geeky things that you've thought out, right? And so Aletta got involved, and the whole company's thing changed, the branding changed, we were better at marketing and so forth. And from then on, the business evolved. We were very dominant in Africa. And then we said, we have to get into Asia.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, India. You have to get into India. And we looked at India and we thought, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
because the margins are small. There's a lot of competition. It's not going to be easy, and it's not homogeneous. It's very diverse, different cultures, different things, and so forth.
Sure.
So we looked at it and we said, Pakistan. We'll go into Pakistan. It's the 5th most populous country in the world.
I didn't know that.
It's homogeneous.
Yeah.
The margins are better. At that stage, the banking regulation was very modern. And I sent a letter and Reg to go and find a partner in Pakistan. People said, how can you send a woman to Pakistan?
Yeah.
And they found, what was his name? And we dominate Pakistan. At one stage, 50% plus of our revenue was coming out of Pakistan. We were the only mobile payments platform in Pakistan for a long time. 90% of transactions were running through our platform. It was like a roaring success, Pakistan.
Wow. That's a lovely story. And from there, it went on, and Visa then came back into the picture.
Yeah, but not the Visa, because, it was now a company. It was called Visa Inc. Previously, it was called the Visa organization. And we sat down and we said, because by then mobile payments were big, and we were the gorilla. Yeah. Gartner put us in the top quadrant, and the leader in that fourth quadrant.
Yeah.
Every third transaction was running on a Fundamo platform. We were in 40 countries, something like that. And but then Nokia started doing mobile payments. Sybase and SAP, Ericsson invested heavily in mobile payments, and we said maybe it's the right time to sell now.
Yeah.
And so we put up a for sale thing, and we went through a process, and Visa became the best option. And we closed that deal from getting first indications that they're interested until the money flew in just over 6 months. Due diligence, everything.
That's quick. That's lightning quick. Sure. And was it a sell and exit, or were you expected to stay around? And
yeah, look, I was in the organization.
Yeah.
SVP. And I don't know how, what I can say here and how widely your podcast is, how much of the internal politics of Visa I can disclose.
Okay, so it is quite widely distributed, so it goes to the States and all around the world.
So I'll sanitize everything a little bit, right?
Yeah, no.
But I think, I did have an impact in that organization.
Yes.
Like one example is that Visa belonged to the World Economic Forum.
Okay.
And as you know, there's this thing in Davos every year where business leaders, and I was sitting around with the executives of Visa, and I said, we can go to Davos, right? They said, no, we don't know either. I said, we're going to Davos. I will lead the Visa delegation to Davos.
Okay.
And so we had 4 slots, and I organized it, and we went, and I organized the Visa first visit to Davos.
Okay.
And the next year everybody wanted to go, and so I didn't have a slot, and then at the last minute somebody didn't go, and so I got invited. So I went with Visa to Davos twice. And that was an amazing experience.
Must have been, yeah.
And Visa is such
well received.
Yeah, Visa is such an influential organization. Yeah. It's probably, from a branding point of view and number of customers in the world, indirectly through banks.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest and most influential company in the world, if you think about it.
Wow. Yeah.
But they're very
quite a thought.
And they're a very, very what do you call it? Ethics-driven company.
Yes.
What is right?
Yeah.
And, you could imagine with that influence that Visa's got, to have leadership that do things because they believe it's right. Like, for instance, in the US today, you cannot buy marijuana with Visa.
Oh, really?
Because federally, it's still seen as a drug.
Yes.
And Visa won't allow you to use their payment instrument
To
for
purchase.
something that is deemed to be illegal. It'll
That's
change.
so interesting, huh? Sure.
So it's an amazing, very, very special company. I mean, the other thing that happened is, so we got new offices here in Cape Town.
Yeah.
In the Visa Inc. organization, after the acquisition, after San Francisco and Singapore, Cape Town was the third biggest office based on headcount after the
Oh,
acquisition
really? Wow.
of Visa.
Okay.
And so we were getting new offices and stuff, and I said, I want to brand it Visa, right?
Yes. Yeah.
No Visa offices were branded at that stage
Okay.
because they said it's the bank's responsibility to brand. We don't want to,
Okay.
get in their way and so forth. And I said, Charlie was the CEO. I said, Charlie, I'm going to brand this building. He says, no, you get fired. I said, well, I'm so proud of being a Visa employee. I'm going to brand it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of running around, and Adrian came back to me and he said, they said we can brand in January. They've thought about it and it's okay to brand, and they agree it's important to brand it. We can brand it in January because they don't want Cape Town to be the first office to brand. They're first going to brand the head office.
Okay.
So if you see a branded Visa office, I guess I played a bit of a role in.
That's so cool. I love it. And it went well.
Yeah, in the end, I think, they kind of asked me to leave, I think. I don't know it for a fact, but I think they had meetings and they said, look, this guy shouldn't be working for a corporate.
Yeah.
So
Corporate refugee.
Yeah.
Which I relate to.
But I had a good time, and it's a very special company, and it was a good place for Fundamo too.
Yeah. So how long were you actually in their stable?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. 2.5 years.
And then?
Then I did what everybody does when they exit, which is really not a good idea. I retired.
Okay. Yeah.
And I traveled, and I built a church in Pakistan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
In Lahore.
Yeah.
That was also fun, because, there's, as a matter of fact, there's like, I don't know the exact number, but like 10 million Christians in Pakistan.
Okay.
But they are not always in the best place, they live in slums and so forth, and they don't have jobs, and there's a big need. So I had the conviction that I have to use some of the money that I got out of Fundamo to build a church there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was pretty special.
That's very special. Is it still there?
It's still there. Yeah.
That's wonderful. My word, what a story.
And then, I got so depressed that I decided I have to work again. And so I started doing some jobs just to make sure that I don't.
And you were still based out of SA at that stage?
No, that's how I moved. I lived in South Africa, and I love South Africa. And I think it's an amazing country on many different levels, specifically because of the people here.
Yeah.
I think, you have to travel to realize how special South Africans are. Unbelievable people. But I found a job in Florida.
Yeah.
Packed 2 suitcases, got a visa, and started working in Florida. and met Jenny, and still live there. because Jenny's business and family, and it's not a bad place.
Okay. Now, you started out life as was it a nuclear physicist, or what did you study? It was something.
Yeah, nuclear physics.
Nuclear physics.
Yeah. It's like I did pretty well in the mathematics Olympiad.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Jenny said I should just say I won it, but I think I came second or something like that. So I,
You were a winner. You were a winner.
I was a winner in
were a
the
winner.
mathematics Olympiad in '74, and I was in this town called Bethlehem, and there was no special maths program or whatever. They just also wrote this exam, and so it was a big thing, and I got a lot of bursaries to go and study.
Okay.
Amongst others, to become an actuary.
Okay.
And so I asked everybody, what is an actuary?
Yeah.
Nobody knew. So I decided maybe I shouldn't become an actuary because it might be something that is not good, right?
Yeah.
And so I also got a bursary to study physics.
Okay.
So I studied physics. And the bursary was from the Atomic Energy Corporation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I ended up there as a scientist, working on South Africa.
In Pelindaba.
In Pelindaba.
Okay.
Working on programs that I was told was highly confidential.
Okay.
We had to get serious secrecy clearance in order to work on that program.
Okay.
I think I can talk about it now.
I think you can, yes. That's good. And what was so secret about it?
Well, South Africa was building things which people could refer to as critical devices, where the neutron density increased dramatically through a chain reaction.
Okay.
Let's just
call it that.
And I was a scientist there, and I worked through with all these, and then we got something. I mean, we had some of the most advanced computer equipment.
I can imagine, huh?
That was in South Africa.
Was it CDC equipment? Do you remember CDC equipment?
No, it was IBM.
IBM. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it was massive processors, and it was in South Africa for different purpose for which it was being applied for at that stage.
Okay.
Because there were serious sanctions about what people could use equipment for.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
And then we got a graphic user interface, Tektronix thing that plugged into this mainframe. But it was just bare. There was no CAD programs on it or whatever. And I was doing a master's degree. And for my dissertation, I wanted to draw some diagrams with Tektronix. So I wrote a little CAD program so that I can do my pictures that goes into my nuclear physics master's degree thing. And then after I finished, I thought, what did I enjoy about my master's degree? And I thought, writing that little CAD program. So I stopped being a nuclear physicist.
Yes.
And I
joined IBM.
Got into computers.
Okay.
No, I started the company with two other mad guys, Peter and Cedric.
Oh, Infomed. Were you a founder of Infomed?
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
Founder of Infomed.
Oh, my word.
We had only one client.
And that was IBM, wasn't it?
No, that was the wheat board.
Oh, right.
In Pretoria. And I was the lead consultant
yes.
on the wheat board. And Peter said to me, while we are trying to sell our stuff, you better not lose wheat board. Otherwise, we're going to be dead.
Okay.
And sorry, you see, you shouldn't have invited me. I just keep on talking, right?
That's fine. I love it. This is what it's about. It's great stories and life stories.
Yeah, life
goodness
stories.
me. And Cedric too.
Cedric Tyler.
I remember Cedric well.
He was such a good salesman.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I learned so much from him. It's like, I mean, he used to shout at me, like, and I said, why are you shouting at me? And he said, no, I'm just passionate. It's like what you do. So I decided, okay, if that's what you do, I'm going to shout back.
Okay.
but it wasn't natural for me. So
Okay.
I had to go, stood in front of a mirror and I
And
shouted
practiced
at the mirror
Okay.
until I could do it, and when Cedric stood up and he pointed his finger at me, I stood up as well and we shouted at each other. And I also became passionate.
Yeah.
But Cedric was such a good salesman. He came to the office once and he said, guys, I've just closed Investec.
Yes.
It's a major bank. We are now progressing from the wheat board to Investec.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big jump.
That was a big jump. We said to him, Cedric, what did you sell to Investec? He said, I sold them our business analyst course. We said to him, Cedric,
We don't have one.
He said, well, there's clearly a market for it.
Yes, it sounds terribly familiar, I must say.
And we developed, between Peter and me, we developed that business analyst course, and it became one of our best sellers. So there's merits sometimes.
So I'm trying to just get a link time-wise. This was before, this was in the early 90s, huh? Or was it not yet?
Yeah, it was in the early 90s.
Early 90s.
93-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, 93-ish.
Before IBM came back in, because at that stage,
ISG.
yes, ISG was out there in near Sloan.
Yeah, and remember, ISG bought Aleta's company, which was, what was the company's name that she had?
This was pre-Software Future days.
Yeah, it was pre-Software Future. She was with the company, and they bought that company, and they bought Infomet ISG.
Yes.
And I remember, and then I felt I could fly business class, and I was sitting, but I was a real geek. If I look at myself, so I was sitting there in business class with my laptop open, and I was like, doing stuff and so forth. And this lady comes sit next to me, and she leans over and she checks. She says, you must be Hannes van Rensburg. I thought, famous at last. Yes, I am. It turns out it's Aleta. And she, knew that the other company was Infomet, and there I was with my Infomet things and stuff like that. So she just realized that this idiot.
This is Hannes.
Yeah.
And then at some stage you started doing work with CSIR.
No, that was as part of Infomet. CSIR became company, and that's where what's his name?
Danny Halprin.
Danny.
Yes.
Yeah. That was. Look, I learned so much from. That's the thing about life and business is you are fortunate. I mean, we get exposed through our life to so many people.
Yeah.
And some of them are dangerous.
Yes.
Because they can lead you into they could mess with how you think about life and business and so forth.
Yes.
Some people are wonderful.
Yeah.
Because they teach you things about how to look at the world and how to think and so forth. I think the one thing that I feel I was fortunate about, and that I would like to tell young people, is have the judgment to be able to distinguish
between the two,
who's going to steer away from them and who is going to be the ones that. And Danny was such a guy. Danny was just an amazing coach.
Yeah.
And I was so fortunate to work with Danny.
Yeah.
But he was
a character.
He was a character, and he understood business. We arrived once early morning in Tel Aviv. We were looking at technology in Israel that we were going to import into South Africa, and our rooms were not ready. And Danny walked over to reception, and he was very calm. He said, I just want to understand the situation, right? Like, I'm standing on this side of the counter, which makes me the client, the customer, right? You are standing on that side of the counter, which makes you the supplier.
Yes.
Right? And then he shouted. It reverberated through the hollow tub. And he put his fist on the desk and he said, I want my room now. Simple business principle.
Yeah.
We got our rooms.
I'm sure you did. Oh my word, eh? Sure.
Yeah.
And people that floated in and out of your space then were people like Kurt Foster.
Kurt.
Fine
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, wonderful man. Yeah.
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 Very special friend, very
special.
special person.
I mean, the thing that I've learned from Kurt is the fundamental principle about project management.
Yeah.
When Kurt was a really good project manager. He was good at a lot of things, but he was a really good project manager.
Yeah.
And he managed projects perfectly. But when you get to them and you ask him, how's it going? Say, terrible. It's like, I don't know how we're going to finish this thing, right? The timelines are so compressed. It's like, I don't know, I don't have enough people. The quality that's going to come out of this is going to be horrendous and so forth, right? Always. And what he was doing is he was setting expectations
that he could well exceed.
He always exceeded the expectations.
Oh, I love that.
And I mean, there's a very good principle about if you're a salesman, it's okay to set expectations.
Yes.
If you're a project manager,
Don't. Yeah.
set the expectations
Low.
low, then you will always be good.
Yeah, exactly. People will be pleasantly surprised and delighted, in fact.
Yeah, no, I mean, the people, it's like that you meet in life. And I mean, that places an onus on us
Yes.
to give back.
Yeah.
Because we managed to do whatever we managed to do, and the success that we did achieve was because we were fortunate to be helped.
Yeah.
And all the time, when people really help you, they do it with nothing in return.
Yeah.
I mean,
So interesting that.
yeah, it's the people that ask you money
Yeah.
that maybe they're not trying to help you. Maybe
Yes.
they're trying to help them, right?
Yeah.
And so today, I mean, I love working with young people, and when they say, can they phone me and spend an hour with me or whatever, then the thing that I say to them is, there's only one rule. I don't want anything for it.
Yeah.
And there's no strings attached, because that is how I want to give back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find, though, with that, when there isn't that transaction, that the level of commitment from their side is what it should be?
Well, you see, that's the thing, is that they're not, that means that they are not responsible to me. There is nothing that I expect from them.
Yeah.
And therefore, if they never phone me again, or they do whatever they want to do, that's okay with me, because I'm just giving.
Okay.
I'm just giving back.
Yeah.
And it's and I feel a lot of privilege that somebody has got their baby and they say, what do you think of my baby? They ask it of me, right? How blessed am I that people feel that they can do that, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I feel a real goodwill if entrepreneurs or startups or people that's starting off has got the guts to show their baby to me and tell me, what do I think of it?
Yeah.
And it's open for me to be able to say to them, I think it's very ugly. Because I'm honest. I don't need anything of it, right?
Yeah.
Or I say, you have to think about a different career than making a grow up as a model, because that's not going to work, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me something, your observations over all these years, who have been the standout leaders for you? And I mean, people of not just capability and impact, but people of consequence and integrity.
Yeah, for me, that's a very important thing. And, is I think a lot of, and that's something that I've also thought about now that I'm getting older and thinking, what does it mean to be successful?
Yeah.
Because we have a very well-defined MBA definition, which is expressed in valuations, and turnover and margins, and growth, and things like that. That's when you're successful. But I think if you just focus on that, then you lose a lot of things about just being a human.
Yeah.
And so, people that we look at under those measurements as being great leaders, I think many of them, most of them, fall down on that.
Yeah.
And maybe we should become more critical about how do we change the world, how do we make the world a better place, and how do we contribute out of that. Yeah, and of course, we want to live comfortably, therefore we've got to make money and so forth. But that shouldn't be the ultimate measurement of greatness.
You see, that should be a consequence rather than an intention.
Money.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Money should come because you're doing good.
Yes.
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 Unfortunately, that's not.
Yeah. Because you hear all these. I'm very big on the whole world of cliches. Firstly, because almost every cliche is not just lip service. It's something with a rich truth in it, but it becomes cliched because people pay lip service to it.
Without understanding the deeper meaning.
Yeah. And so when you think about things like the throwaway comments that people make of, all's fair in love and war.
Yeah.
No, that's completely not true.
Yeah.
And then, yes, but the ends justify the means. No. The ends never justify the means. The means are all important. The end is just a temporary consequence of those means. Those means are lifelong. Those means speak of character. Those means speak of identity.
Yeah.
The end is just a goal that you set and that you achieved, and now you move on to the next one. But it's who you are, how you show up, and how you operate.
It's so important. And I think the other thing that my understanding about life now is we say that only thing that we want in life is happiness.
Yeah.
And we measure happiness based on these strange measurements, like enough money, enough friends, enough time.
Yeah.
If I just have enough time, I can be happy.
Isn't that interesting? Just run out of time. And here we are. Thank you, Hannes van Rensburg, man of such wonderful person qualities, humanity. It's such a pleasure being a friend of yours and knowing you and having you in the studio with me on this program. Thank you for being here. And I wish you all the good things that you deserve.
Thank you, Bryan. This is, and I love you too, right? You're a very special person. And I'm so fortunate to have you as my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You've been tuned to Risky Business. I'm your host, Bryan Hattingh. My fabulous guest has been Hannes van Rensburg. And listeners, remember, if you're not with the ones you love the ones you're with, and take time to show and tell the ones you love just how much you do. Have a great week. Take care of each other and yourselves, and see you next time.